Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin. Volume 12, Lord Luo Feng. Chapter 450, Infinite World. 25th of Volume 12. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. For the Lords, peaceful days were normal. Terrifying conflicts like the war between the two great factions, or the battle between the Xuanhuan ancestor faction and the Eight Lords, were actually quite rare. For lords like Luo Feng, daily life primarily consists of cultivation, exploring mysterious lands, governing their territories, and spending time with their families and disciples. Within Luo Feng's territory, a remote origin world, a clone of Luo Feng resided here, working as a blacksmith. Through his artistry, he transformed the mundane into the extraordinary. Forging formidable divine weapons and artifacts was also a method of cultivating the Tao of matter. But at this moment, his expression shifted as he gazed beyond the origin world's borders. An immense, serpentine great serpent coiled into view, its body so vast that it rivaled the size of the origin world itself. Whoosh! As the serpent descended, it began forcibly devouring the origin world's very essence. Infinite serpent. Luo Feng roared telepathically, his voice filled with fury, "Stop this at once." The serpent glanced at Luo Feng's clone within the origin world, his eyes cold as he sent a telepathic wave. "Lord Luo Feng, with just a mere clone, do you truly think you can stop me?" He cared nothing and continued devouring the origin world. The fluctuations caused by his consumption of the origin world's essence swept across the entire realm, bringing cataclysmic destruction to countless lives. Luo Feng watched the scene with icy eyes. His clone remained detached from the conflict within the origin world. Yet having witnessed the growth of many practitioners here, the impending annihilation of all life ignited his fury. The day has finally come, Luo Feng thought, his killing intent rising. After the Great War, I did not expect that the first Xuanhuan ancestor who would dare to devour an entire origin world, would be you. He knew that this day would come. The territories under the practitioner faction's dominion, encompass the original 3,600 world cluster and the Southern River Territory's 1,600 world cluster, totaling over 5,200 world clusters. This vast expanse was densely woven with the time-space network and heavily guarded. However, beyond this territory were the realms controlled by other factions. The practitioner faction only directly ruled the origin world. Although they had established basic time-space portals, dispatched patrolling teams, and even deployed high-level and world-level Xuanhuan lifeforms, main combat clones to assist, their defensive forces remained woefully inadequate. This was inevitable. The practitioner faction's high-level and world-level Xuanhuan lifeforms were simply too rare. The 13th Serpent Xuanhuan ancestor of the Infinite Serpent clan, Luo Feng recognized the adversary immediately. Among the over 200 Xuanhuan ancestors in the Infinite Xuanhuan space, this one was well known. Just a clone. Stop talking nonsense. The huge serpent cared nothing for formalities. With an invisible wave of power, he obliterated Luo Feng's clone. He continued devouring the source world's origin. He had long coveted the origin world, but under the Eight Lords' deterrence, not even the three sovereigns of the Wind, Thunder and Sea dared to consume it, let alone any other Xuanhuan ancestor in the Infinite Xuanhuan space. But now, after enduring for too long, he could not longer endure himself. He had prepared for this moment, to devour the origin world and then retreat indefinitely into the mysterious land, the infinite world. Did the 13th Serpent ancestor of the Infinite Serpent clan devour the origin world? How audacious! Among the non-immortal Xuanhuan ancestors, he is the first one who dared to devour the origin world since the war. Now we should wait for the practitioner faction's response. All factions eagerly anticipated the practitioner faction's reaction. Council Hall of the Origin Land. The Eight Lords gathered. It's been 120 million epochs since the Great War. Yuan said, his smile faint, the day has finally come. I always knew these Xuanhuan ancestors couldn't suppress their ambitions forever. Kill one to serve as a warning to the rest. Luo Feng said, his killing intent palpable. After all, it was the origin world he had been tasked with guarding. He must die. He is very cautious, but he would return to the infinite world within a day, Lord Xingmeng said. Hiding in the mysterious land, the infinite world. Lord Mingwang frowned, that would be troublesome. The infinite world is a mid-tier mysterious land. Outside the infinite world, the Infinite Serpent Xuanhuan ancestor could only borrow a portion of its power. But within the infinite world itself, his strength would surge dramatically. The assistance it could provide there far surpassed that of ordinary mysterious lands like the Galaxy Territory, the Origin Land, or the Time Star. If the 13th Serpent Xuanhuan ancestor dares to devour origin worlds, he must be prepared, Lord Momen said, he would likely retreat into the infinite world soon. After some time, he might emerge again to devour another origin world. This cycle of devouring and hiding will repeat again and again. The Infinite Serpent clan can appear near any origin world with the help of Infinite World. Sending the 8 lords, main combat clones to intercept would take too long. There's no way to predict which origin world he will target next, Lord Xingmang said, shaking his head. After having glimpsed the future, he knew countless possibilities existed. The only way to kill him is to strike within the infinite world itself. The infinite world is not an ordinary mysterious land, Lord Wulan said worriedly. Once we act, the Hunyuan ancestors will sense us, Lord Jin added, equally concerned. They might rally other Hunyuan ancestors to guard the infinite world, making an attack nearly impossible. I think we should focus on assassination rather than an attack. Lord Xingmang shook his head. This battle must remain secret. If the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor summons a horde of Hunyuan ancestors, dozens to guard the infinite world, no force could budge them. Thankfully, the Hunyuan ancestors aren't united, Lord Xingmang said. Without an emergency, it's impossible for their true bodies to remain perpetually guarding the infinite world. Moreover, the other Hunyuan ancestors are also wary of the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor. Luo Feng and the others nodded in understanding. Under normal circumstances, each Hunyuan ancestor had their own stronghold, and they were divided into various factions. Within the infinite world, defense was primarily handled by the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor and his subordinate Hunyuan ancestor level great serpents. To ensure absolute secrecy, only Xingmang, Momen, Luo Feng, and I can act together, Yuan said. The 4 of us can suppress all fluctuations of our energy. My main combat clone is currently refining a treasure, Lord Momen said. I've been refining it for tens of thousands of epochs. It will likely take hundreds of epochs at the least, and thousands at most, to complete. Can this battle be postponed? Can't you stop refining the treasure for some times? Lord Mingwang asked. I must keep my main combat clone suppressing it, Lord Momen said helplessly. If the clone goes to the infinite world for battle, leaving only 1 or 2/10ths of its power behind, the treasure will slip away. Yuan shook his head. This battle must be fought as quickly as possible. Speed is key to achieving a decisive impact. The infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor might also be recruiting allies, Lord Xingmang added. The faster we act, the better. The 3 of us working together should be enough, Luo Feng said, frowning. Lord Xingmang glanced at Luo Feng. He could foresee the futures of other lords, but Luo Feng's future remained opaque, even his true strength was a mystery. If Luo Feng believes we're ready, let's proceed. Yuan nodded lightly. Even if we fail this time, we can seek another opportunity. We can't have dozens of Hunyuan ancestors guarding the infinite world indefinitely. Okay, Lord Xingmang nodded. We'll spare no effort to reach the infinite world at top speed. Luo Feng, we'll immediately descend our clones beside you. Help us restore our power to that of our main combat clones. Luo Feng nodded. Okay. This was the quickest method to assemble. Luo Feng, Yuan, and Lord Xingmang immediately combined their efforts, sparing no cost to reach the infinite world at maximum speed. In the mysterious land of the infinite world, the vast sky stretched endlessly over the boundless dark earth. A ripple in the time-space fabric of the sky signaled the arrival of a serpent-like monster, which emerged through the disturbance and returned to the infinite world. 13th, a cold voice resonated. Startled, the serpent-like monster turned and saw the illusory head of the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor. First Hunyuan ancestor, the monster said obediently. I had already forbidden the infinite serpent clan from devouring origin worlds, the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor said angrily. At least don't be the first Hunyuan ancestor, do so. It's been barely over 100 million epochs, and you can't resist yourself. First Hunyuan ancestor, the serpent-like monster countered. We can reach distant lands and return in an instant. As long as we're careful, those lords can't harm us. You underestimate them, the infinite serpent ancestor snapped. What can they do to me? The monster scoffed. In that previous origin world, I extinguished Luo Feng's weak clone with a single power fluctuation. The infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor fell silent. You've violated the lords' taboos, he said calmly. They won't let this go. If those 8 lords unite to attack, I'll summon numerous Hunyuan ancestors for assistance. But if they don't attack, you'll have to be careful on your own, the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor added, unwilling to say more. He was merely one of the 9 sovereigns. Summoning the true bodies of dozens of Hunyuan ancestors was no easy task. After the Great War, many Hunyuan ancestors had hidden their true bodies, leaving only clones to act in the outside world. I'll hide within the infinite world, the snake-like creature hissed, burrowing into the black soil. Perhaps because I've been protecting them all this time, even the 13th dares to defy me now, the infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor sighed inwardly. He underestimates the lords, and especially Lord Luo Feng. The infinite Hunyuan space possesses unparalleled powers, yet it took so long to even become a lord-level existence. Over 100 million epochs had passed, who knows what capabilities Lord Luo Feng had developed by now. The infinite serpent Hunyuan ancestor remained vigilant, sensing the positions of the 8 lords. At that moment, many factions were also monitoring the lords' locations. They haven't acted collectively yet. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor pondered. As his worries lingered, 2 days quietly passed. For Xuanhuan ancestors, such a short span was trivial. Preparing a single operation could easily take hundreds of epochs. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor suddenly snapped his attention to a specific location, his eyes blazing with shock and fury. An impossibly sharp blade of light slashed through the world membrane from beyond the heavens, piercing into this realm. As the master of the infinite world, the infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor naturally detected it first. They're here. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor was astonished. There had been no warning of their arrival. The lords are coming. How is this possible? 15 Xuanhuan ancestor level, infinite serpents, within the infinite world sensed the arrival of an impossibly sharp blade light, instinctively feeling terror. You dare to come here. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor's massive form materialized before the blade light, an incomparably vast power coalescing around him. The power of the entire infinite world converged upon the infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor, making his current power far surpassing Shajo's. It's important to note that when Luo Feng first refined the Blood Crane territory, he had just become a lord, and his strength within the territory had increased by about 3 times. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor was far stronger than Luo Feng had been when he first became a lord. The infinite world could amplify a Xuanhuan ancestor's power by about 5 times. This was an utterly terrifying level of power. Previously, the lords had never even considered invading the infinite world. The blade light flashed with lethal intent. Empowered by Yuan and Lord Xingmeng, Luo Feng unleashed the Blood Shadow Blade technique, one of 2 blade techniques perfected over hundreds of millions of years, which aimed to achieve the ultimate expression of its nothing escapes the principle. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor's massive, resilient body vanished in an instant before the blade's light, as if encountering no resistance at all. The blade's glow continued unimpeded, hurtling toward the distant earth. Not good. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor immediately sent a telepathic call across the distance. Yanwo Xuanhuan ancestor, Wujin Xuanhuan ancestor of space-time, come quickly. Only these 3 could arrive immediately. Instantly, 3 streams of consciousness descended. The clones of Yanwo Xuanhuan ancestor, the Wujin Xuanhuan ancestor, and the Xuanhuan ancestor of space-time materialized. Empowered by the boundless power of the infinite world, their clones rapidly strengthened, with their life cores able to merge into these bodies at any time. Yanwo Xuanhuan ancestor and the others need a breath of time to recover their full strength. Hold them off with everything you have. The infinite serpent Xuanhuan ancestor telepathically commanded the 15 great serpent Xuanhuan ancestors while mobilizing the infinite world's power to block the path. Void Labyrinth. Before Lord Xingmeng, all void techniques were a joke. Block the way with the infinite power. Before the blade's light, all powers can be split in 2. Stop it. Stop. The 15 great serpent Xuanhuan ancestors were merely ordinary Xuanhuan ancestors. Even worse, their specialized powers were largely similar, either void power or infinite power. This similarity severely limited their ability to coordinate effectively. Hold it. Yanwo Xuanhuan ancestor roared, his clone now at 50% of its full strength. We can all talk together, the Wujin Xuanhuan ancestor spoke. We can compensate for the 13th serpent Xuanhuan ancestor's actions, the Xuanhuan ancestor of space-time added urgently. Whoosh. The blade's light sliced through all obstacles, effortlessly parting the soil. No. The 13th serpent Xuanhuan ancestor was gripped by terror. He tried to flee, but when Lord Xingmeng entered the infinite world, the entire fabric of time-space had been disrupted, rendering any temporal escape impossible. The blade's light flashed past the 13th serpent Xuanhuan ancestor's body. In an instant, the 13th serpent Xuanhuan ancestor was slain in his terror, his corpse vanishing without a trace. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel.